Hi everyone, thanks for purchasing this video. We're going to talk about the Roy Nichols guitar solo off the tune Roly Poly, talk about the licks he plays, and then how we can put it into our own playing and kind of make some licks based off of how he plays it. But first we're going to go over the chords to Roly Poly. We're going to be playing a G for 2 bars, a C for 1, then it goes back to the G. So G, C, G. And then if we go down, we've got 2 bars of G, then we go to the 2-7, and then the 5-7, which is an A and a D. So go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we repeat the same G for 2 bars, then a C for a bar, then a G. And then we have a G for a bar, D for a bar, G, G7. So all together it's going to sound like. Here's the solo, and then we'll start talking about it. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. So to kick it off, we're just vamping out of this G chord as an A shape. If you know cowboy chords, we've got our A right here. We're just moving it up to there though. And we're going just D, D, D. And what this is just playing the D, B, A, G, all major scale, then the E in the same pattern. We can analyze it going 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And really in Western swing it's great to emphasize the sixth over a major chord, and that's one of these licks that does that. And we can. And from there we're going right into our C chord. And what we're going to do here, we just landed on this A. And he does this nice little Jimmy Weibel kind of lick. And one thing to note is this whole solo is based off of Jimmy Weibel's original solo of Roly Poly. But anyway, he plays this little chromatic. And that's just going B, C, C sharp, D. And I do use all my fingers for that. I have. And what that is just the chromatic 3, 4, flat 5, 5. That's a really common Junior Bernard lick, which we'll talk about in the Old-Fashioned Love lesson. But he does this little, and then he comes right back down to the 13, that's the C. The 11th fret, which is the B flat, so that just totally shows we're in C, with the flat 7. And then he plays an open, which may be by accident, but I don't know. So we have this, and comes down to the G. And what's happening, we're kind of working into this C chord. So if we were to analyze it in chord structures, we're first starting here, then we're moving up to the G shape, which is really impractical, but it's essentially your open chord, but at the 12th fret. Then we're out of this C chord, and then we're out of this C chord. So slowly. All right. So now we're back at the G, and we're in this structure, the C shape. and we play. And really we're just messing around with the major scale more. Nothing too flashy here. It's kind of that Roy Nichols thing. Maybe he took it from Jimmy Weibel, where he really likes to surround a chord tone. So we're surrounding the G by going down and up, F sharp and A. Now if we go to the fifth measure, we've got, and what's happening here is we're just playing down the G arpeggio starting on the D. So just D, B, G, and then, we've got 7, 10, and 7. And what that is just kind of implying an E minor chord. The E minor is the 6th of G, and we're just dancing with our E right here. That's kind of E minor pentatonics. And you're just kind of emphasizing the 6. So and then we're going to play some more bluer notes here. We're going to grab the 8th fret and play this. We've got B flat, so that's the flat 3 of G. D is the 5. G, E, G. Now some people could analyze that he's still playing in C, the C pentatonics, or kind of the G blues stuff. Take it how you like. You know, it's he's curving the changes a little bit here by going, because that fits very nicely over a C7 chord. So this is just an example of you don't always have to play right on the change. You can kind of bend it to how you would like. So just to back up, we've got, and this is starting in 4, we've got, and now we're at the A7, and he goes, which is cool because he does that little hammer-on thing again. We're going up 4 notes, and that's just F sharp, G, G sharp, A, then F sharp, G, E. And what he's playing out of here is it's an A7 chord, and he's playing out of this form of it right here, where we have an A, an E, a G, and a C sharp. Another way, not to get too confusing, but if you were listening in or bought the Corrina video lesson, we talked about playing out of the minor subs. The minor sub for A is E, built off the 5th of A. And that is exactly the shape he's playing out of. So, we've got that as a possibility. He's playing out of one of these two. So analyze it to how you would like. I prefer looking at it as the minor sub, just because it fits my chord shapes a little better. So he does this lick, and then to the D he goes, and that's just a nice little hammer-on pull-off again. And then D, F sharp, D, F sharp. And that's just simply out of that G shape for the D chord right there. Or, so we've got, so altogether that 2-5 change is, and it's wonderful because you don't really have to move your hands too much. It's all in that area. So that's a lesson in itself. Whenever you're playing and shedding these chord changes, as well as these chord structures, find out how you can play them and not move your hand too much, and see where you can do it with the most minimal movement as possible, to see how all the different tones you can get out of just one area. So, and now we're on to the next part of the progression, starting with the G. And what we do here is this lick where we go.